Right, welcome to this live stream, whether you're watching it back or watching it actually live right now. I haven't done one of these for a while, so this is one of two today. This is a bit of a test, this one. We're going to be going through King's Cross. Just starting out the London Canal Museum, as you'll be able to see in a second. I've actually been asked to leave. I've overstayed my welcome, and although I paid for my mooring yesterday, yeah, that was yesterday. So today I've got to move on. You only get one night here, and it's at the jurisdiction of the museum. We were filming there, so for Canal Diaries, so they were all right with it. But yeah, a guy's just come out to say, excuse me, you shouldn't be here. I don't think he knew what we were doing. Anyway, neither do I, most of the time. I'm going to set off and go through King's Cross area of London. At the moment we're in Battlebridge Basin with the museum behind us, as you'll be able to see. Look, coming into shot there. And I'm going to try and see some of your comments come through if I can. And if you're watching this back, you can load up the chat to see all the awful things that people have said to me. No, people are generally very nice to me. Too nice. Right, so bear with me. Hopefully you can hear me all right. Good morning to everyone who's watching. Making my way out of this basin where there's a lot of permanent moorings, and you'll see in a minute how packed London is and why I had to moor there last night, because I just couldn't get a space anywhere else. We'll discuss why that is at some stage. There we go. Right, I'm just loading up the chat so you can see your messages. Cool. Right, let's turn the camera around so you can see where we're going. Morning Craig and Jane, everyone from the Crank It crew. Thanks for supporting my videos. And I hope you enjoy this little live stream. I don't know how long this one will go on for. It'll be probably quite a short-ish one, but even so it'll be about an hour. Until I get my phone stolen. No, it's not that bad. The plan later on is to go through Camden, so that'll be the second live stream. But for now we're just going past the Guardian buildings on our left. And right at the end you can see there's some boats moored there. And you can see my stove going so I can warm up later on. It's a little bit cold today, a bit chilly. But yeah, so right at the end here we've got, this is the Regent's Canal in North London, King's Cross area, so it's still pretty central, but probably about as central as you can get on the Regent's Canal. And we're heading towards the west. Start to see some of the boats moored up now. Bit controversial in London at the moment, putting up all these. Might be able to see them, might not, but signs that say you've got to book these moorings. So all these moorings you've got to pay for. The signs have just gone up after having been taken down. I didn't do it, but yeah. Anyway, so you've got to pay in winter something like £20 a night for these moorings, which I think, yeah, well, I have to be careful what I say about the Canal River Trust, but I don't think it's a good idea. I think the way it's been done could have been done a lot better. Headed towards Granary Square, other side of this bridge that I'm going underneath. Just changed a lot. Yeah, you'll see how gentrified it's become in a minute. If you know this area of King's Cross, yeah, we'll see some changes definitely. So yeah, these moorings passing 7 days, it used to be 14 days, and you have to pay per night. And what I think should have been done, because I'm very passionate about keeping boats in London, I'm passionate about safety aspect of having more boats here rather than less. Yeah, so what should have been done, I think, is they should have created new moorings. Because there's plenty of space in London to create them, and then they could have charged for those. Instead of just taking up the moorings that were already there. Anyway, let's go underneath this bridge. This takes us under York Way. You might recognise the big old barge on our right in a minute. It's quite famous, and if you know the canals, especially around here, and they sell books. I was going to do some filming with them for the Canal Boat Diaries recently, but they had a power cut, unfortunately, so we couldn't. It was dark and we couldn't go around there. It's a shame. Never mind. I'm doing it now. I'm giving them a shout out on this. So if you want something to do when you're in the area for free, you know, you can come wander around the canals and also pop onto that barge on the right, Word on the Water, the book barge, and buy a book, maybe. This is Granary Square that we're passing on the right. And yeah, it's quite nice. It's got a Waitrose actually, so it's pretty posh. There's still a lot of building work going on in the area. As far as I know, these boats can moor for a couple of weeks before they have to move on. But yeah, it's difficult. I'm not sure about on the left-hand side. It looked like they've been there for a while, as in they have to pay a permanent fee. Private is normally on the offside. Whereas the towpath side, that's the visitors side where I can moor. Right, let's have a look at your comments. What would be a typical mooring fee, says Rowata. Right. Typically in winter about 20 quid, but in summer it can go up to £35 a night. And the problem is, as you might see on my journeys, I'm not sure, but when they are enforced, there's only a couple of boats that can afford to be there, and then that means the whole of the stretch of towpath is unguarded by boaters like myself. You know, we all look out for everyone, and I saved a lady out of the canal the other day. She fell in, and if I wasn't there, well, she would have, yeah, who knows. I'm sure someone would have helped her, but these canals are much safer with boats on them, especially when you're going through areas of London like this. Jane Gunn, Cranky Crew member, says, are you enjoying being back in London? And I am. It does bring back a lot of memories. This is where it all started for me about 12 years ago. I had my first boat here. Hello Greg, nice to see you, carry a bag. Yeah, so this is where it all started for me. But it's changed a lot. And I couldn't say whether or not the community is the same. It is being affected by these chargeable moorings. There's people who live alongside the canals that are fighting it, saying that they like to see boats on the outside, on the canals. And yeah, some of us might have to run our engines for power and heat, but that's real life. That's what we have to do to get by. And there is in case people haven't noticed, there is a bit of a crisis with the price of houses versus how much you can earn in a year. So is it any wonder that being on a boat is so popular? Rob Smith saying, morning Robbie, you seem to be out of focus, or is it me? It might be you. Only because I'm watching back on mine. I mean, yeah, it's never going to be super high definition 4K, is it? But oh, it's better now, that's good. Sometimes it's your internet, isn't it? But, yeah. Just hope you can get a sort of a sense of what it's like to cruise around London. Every time I come to London and I come to King's Cross, I always try and walk along the canal somewhere here. So I think it's just a very important thing to keep going if we can. It's not an easy lifestyle. Leo says, morning Robbie, will you be putting a video out with your plans for 2025, travels, YouTube and TV? Yeah, perhaps I might do that because I do fancy a change to what I'm doing at the moment, but it's difficult because, yeah, like people want me to do more Canal diaries, but I've not been able to do YouTube, I've not been able to make any music, I've got a book that I need to write, so I am going to have to take some time off filming TV stuff. But yeah, will that ruin everything else for me? I'm not sure. Like the live shows, I don't have live shows without being on TV. So yeah, I'm enjoying being in London, but it's not the friendliest place, is it? You know, my parents are from London. I've lived here for 6 years. My auntie is from London. My brothers both live here. I've got a lot of experience, but yeah, it's not easy to live here. It can be one of the loneliest places in the world. But there are little pockets of magic that I always keep finding. I can't really be bored, I don't think. Tired of London, you're tired of life, that's what they say, but I don't know if I agree with that. I got a fresh sense of, I don't know, enjoyment from living in London, from being on the boat. I don't necessarily, I wouldn't want to live here on land in London. And it's alright if you've got money here, but if you haven't, like most people, spend so much on rent, then yeah, it doesn't leave a lot of cash to enjoy yourself. There's so many people here, it's just crazy. You know, most of the time I'm spending on my own on the towpath, especially in winter. It can be quite lonely. Not lonely, but I guess that's if you don't enjoy your own company. And thankfully I do enjoy my own company. But yeah, there's a lot more people here that you have to share the space with, for good or bad, you know. And with boating, it can be good because you get to meet more people because you've got to swap around with the moorings. You know, one of you might be on the inside, one of you might be on the outside, and one of you's got to move. So you both have to work together and share things. And yeah, I like that side of it. Gangly Legs says, what's the top speed of a Naughty Lass? I think it's about 6 miles an hour, but I've done faster on the tidal rivers because I was going with the flow, going with the current, or the tide. Right, I'm going to get through this lock now. Should we do this lock? This is St Pancras lock, I believe. Actually, I might have got that wrong. But we're right alongside St Pancras Cruising Club. where there's a lot of boats there, mostly narrow boats. But yeah, look at all this. This is Gasholder Park. It's changed a lot. About 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, I moored here and got my windows smashed in. So it was a little bit different then. But yeah, this is St Pancras Lock, number 4. Here we go. Oh, just quickly, Soupy Runs, this is a great name, says, how was it being on Gogglebox? Well, I've got a funny story to tell you about that. I'll tell you whilst I go through this lock, shall I? I've got 2 appearances on Gogglebox. One was just the regular show, and the other one was a celebrity one last year. Last year or this year. And it was quite funny. Because the funny thing is, I've recently met the editor. I said, I've got beef with you, mate. You made the show look very, very boring. But I suppose the point of Canal Boat Diaries is nothing really happens. It's a relaxing show. Well, stuff happens. It's just not high drama, is it? And when we film it, we just film what happens. We don't make stuff up. Which I have heard is a thing that they do in TV. Giving away a secret, trade secret there. Right, where's my windlass? Let's get that out, my lock key. And I'm just going to close the gates behind us, so you won't see that bit. And then I'll carry on cranking the gates in front of us. Just bear with me. I'm not going to rush this. I'm going to take my time because I'm on my own. So you don't ever want to rush putting in a lock on your own, especially if you're doing a live stream. You don't want to then fall in. Ugh. Right. These are all, well, mostly double locks, but most of them are weird. And I don't mean strange, I mean they're made into weirs so that the water can just pass down. And it means that if there is a bit of a queue, you have to wait. But at least these are wide locks, so you could share with another boat quite easily. But as I'm on my own, it's going to take a bit of walking around. However, the best thing for me when I'm doing stupid things like live streaming my way through London is it means I can take time and I don't have to rush, and we can enjoy this. It's more content. It might not be as action-packed, but that's not why we're here, is it? Here to just relax and keep each other company. And if you want to have a little chat in the chat with other boaters, with other people, other subscribers, go for it. And if you haven't subscribed, this is not a bad place to start. At least you'll know about when the next live stream will be coming on, which hopefully actually will be today, later on. Here I am, just crossing the locks. This one is actually locked. You can't get across unless you've got a special key, boater's key, known as a CRT key or BW key. Canal River Trust or British Waterways. Take a look. Quite excited about doing this. I might not sound it, but I am very excited. Showing you part of London you might not have seen, might not have experienced. But if you're a boater, you probably have been through here. It's a sort of a rite of passage, I would say. Well, I would encourage anyone to give it a go, even if you're worried about not getting a mooring or something. It is possible, trust me. It's just not easy. Right, you probably already know this, but this might help anyone who's watching and not sure about going on their own boat through a lock like this, like a wide lock. Got the ground paddle here, the water's going to come underneath the ground into the lock. And if I just open one on this side, it should keep the boat on the same side as I've climbed up the ladder on. So I'll just let the water out fairly gently. My rope's sort of tied loosely. But the boat shouldn't move too much. The idea is water comes out here, so it's almost erupting out of the bottom of the lock. Then it's hitting the opposite side and then coming back to keep the boat in place. That's the theory anyway. But it does certainly, I think putting the boat in a different place makes a difference. You can see that's gone all the way over, bumped on the other side. But yeah, if you put the boat in the right place, as in get it as forward as possibly can, then that works. Let's see if I can show you. Of course, every lock is different and every boat's different. Come here, you. It's not a good idea to really pull your boat around whilst it's filling out the water, but I'm just about strong enough to do it. There we go. Sometimes with these locks you get a lot of leakage, which disrupts your plans. There we go. So all the water is going under now and rushing down that side. So the plan for today, if you just joined, I am on the Regent's Canal in London, and the plan is to go through Camden later on, which is quite a mad place really. It's probably the busiest place for people watching boats, and yet it's one of my favourite places in London, because I when I go shopping there I usually end up spending a lot of money. They see me coming. No, I like the markets, all the vintage clothes and stuff, and street food, and yeah, just the general vibe. The heavy metal pubs. And just general weirdness. Because right now this is quite a normal very sensible part of London. Gentrified, you could say. There's still some elements of architecture left over though, industrial architecture. In fact, I don't know if you can see from where you are, but the this gas tower, or remains of a gas tower, on the right hand side there. It's called Gasholder Park, that bit. And what they've done is they've taken the old structure away. They had everything all rust treated and painted, I think up north somewhere, and then they brought it back, and they've actually used 3 of them at least to surround these sort of apartment blocks, which is pretty cool. It's a good use of old architecture. Whereas out west London there was some gas towers there, but they took them down, unfortunately. Maybe they brought them here. No, why would they do that? That'd be weird. But I almost can't remember what it looked like here 9 or 10 years ago. But I did moor up just the other side of this lock, where you're not supposed to be, on a lock landing. It's got so late in the day, I thought, oh God, sod it, I'm just going to moor up. And then that's where I had an incident where, and I talk about this in my live show, I show pictures of what happened. I've not shown any programmes or anything. But yeah, it's where I had my window kicked in by a couple of utes who just ran off, and I couldn't catch them, obviously, and the CCTV didn't get anything. But I learnt how to mend a window, so that was something that came out of that. Now that the water's at a reasonable height, the boat's quite high up in the lock now, I could go and easily let all the water in through the other paddle. But if I opened both of these paddles at the same time, just the boat would be all over the place and just bash around, and everything inside would fall over. There we go. Oh great, we've got Wobbly Boater in brackets tin here. That's my mate Al. He's a moderator, that's why he's got a spanner next to his name. So yeah, if you say anything bad, he'll sort you out. Yeah. don't test him, because you don't want to get banned off YouTube. Lots of people from Yorkshire watching today, apparently. Love it. I miss Yorkshire. I do visit Sheffield every now and then when I can, and other places. I went knife and axe throwing the other day on the range near Nottingley, West Yorkshire. David Patrick says, how long before a viewer here in the chat can get down to Regent's Canal and shake Robbie's hand live on the stream? Many bonus points to be awarded. I don't know about that. Yeah, so you've got this gate that's used by boaters and also people who live here and found them just as well. Know what they're up to. Who knows? There is a very much us and them attitude in London. There's a lot of tension. Tensions. Right, we're ready to open these gates. And then I'll end the live stream in a few minutes in preparation of doing another one later on, which will probably be at about 12:30, lunchtime maybe, that sort of time, depending where you are in the world. And I'm going to open both these gates just for the hell of it. I don't need to, I can just open one, but it seems to be the fashion to open the locks and just leave the gates open. Rightly or wrongly, I don't particularly agree with it, but it's just what everyone does. They all leave the gates open. So yeah, it helps the person coming towards the lock. It doesn't help the person following you, does it? That's the only thing. But it's probably not much of a difference. of work. And there's plenty of water around. It's not like any of these locks are going to drain a pound if we leave the gates open. Thanks so much for joining me on this. And good morning to everyone, good afternoon, whatever, good evening. It's cranking out of here, and then in a minute I will end the live stream. If you want to share it or whatever and get ready for the next one, which will be in an hour or so. It's hard to plan live streams, it's hard to publicise it, because you know what, with boats, things happen, you have to be versatile, and you can't always set off at exactly the right time that you were thinking you were going to set off. Seeing a train go over the canal, it's always nice. We like that, don't we? Prefer boats, but it's cool to see a train go over. We're going past St Pancras Cruising Club, so hello to everyone who's in there. And thank you for doing your bit to speak up against the moorings, everything that's under threat in London, the pre-bookable moorings. We need to make this more inclusive, not more exclusive. Yeah, so not very good memories from this place. Mooring just behind me, I'll show you. Yeah, just in these little yellow things there. You're not supposed to moor there anyway except for the locks. But yeah, not great memories. Getting my window smashed in. Another train. There we go. The sun is out, so that's great. So it's been so grey and boring for quite a while. Right, I'm going to end this live stream, just pause it and start a new one. And I might just start one in about half an hour's time, have a quick break and then just start it up again. Yeah, Jane makes a good point in the chat that's there. They're re-showing a lot of the old Canal Boat Diaries episodes you've probably already seen. But yeah, it's nice that that's happening. I don't have any control over that, but it's great. And I don't actually get any much more money for when they put them out, but it is good for my music to get that out there. And yeah, it's just what a privilege. Very lucky that people actually like what we do. Been filming a lot with my team, Stu and Phil, and all the other people behind the scenes. But yeah, we're having a little break now while I move the boat to the next filming location. Right then, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.